Adoption can be a long process. However, most parents would agree the benefit of welcoming a child into a family outweighs the wait. Mother of four, Stacy Scott will soon travel to Eastern Europe, where she will meet her new daughter for the first time. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, Stacy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, now I have to ask you, after being a mom to 4 kids, what really made you want to adopt?
My husband and I had always had a desire to adopt and give a home to a child that didn't have its own family. For 4 years, the first 4 years of our marriage, we did foster care, and we always thought we would adopt through the foster care system, and that's just not how it worked out. So it was kind of a desire of ours from the very beginning, and we just didn't know when it would happen, and this was the time that we felt like it was time for us to move in that direction.
What was the organization that you decided to adopt through?
We found an organization called Reese's Rainbow, and we just did a Google search basically because we knew we wanted to do a special needs adoption, and so we learned about them just on the internet and looked through all the photos that they had of the kids on there and learned more about them. So that's the organization we're using.
Why did you decide to adopt overseas instead of within the U.S.?
Because overseas there's an estimate about 153 million orphans worldwide, and so we knew that in the United States, for the most part, there are parents waiting for kids, and if you're going internationally, it's the other way around, where there's millions of kids waiting for a parent to come get them. So that's why we felt we could make the biggest impact by just leaving the borders of the United States and going internationally.
Well, I really want to hear. Tell me about that fateful Thursday when you found that picture of your new daughter.
Yeah, I had come across Reese's Rainbow, and I looked through, I don't know, over 100 pictures, and I had come across her picture, and I just went back to it several times, and a couple days later I told my husband about it and just said, hey, I can't get this little girl out of my mind, and so we talked briefly about it, and then one thing led to another, and he was kind of on the same page with me of let's find some more information out and let's start moving forward with it.
How were you feeling that day? Was it almost like the bond that you had when you first had your own children?
It was kind of just so surreal for us. It was just like we knew we were looking into the eyes of our child, and just like we are supposed to move forward and learn more about her and see how we can bring her home. Out of all the kids that we looked at, we just knew that about her.
Well, you went on the internet, you found somebody that you really wanted to adopt. Now was the time to tell your husband. How did you come and approach him with this?
You know, it wasn't too shocking for him. Like I said, it's something we've been pursuing for a while. It's a conversation we had on and off a lot. And so when I just went to him and said, hey, I found this. Let me tell you about it. I want you to look at it and see what you think. I want to know what your thoughts are. So he wasn't shocked by it by any means.
Well, you have a master's degree in special education. Yep. Did that have any bearing of why you wanted to adopt a child with special needs?
I don't know if it had any bearing, but it just gave us a level of comfortability where it wasn't quite as terrifying to us, just because we had some background knowledge of knowing what to expect or what we might be walking into, because the fear wasn't there, which is why we wanted to pursue that avenue as well, because not only is she an orphan, an international orphan, she also does have special needs, and so she gets overlooked a lot more often than any other child. So that's really why we wanted to reach out and bring her into a home.
Well, as you were saying before, there is thousands of children in the U.S. and also overseas, but why choose her?
You know, I don't know if I can say for sure why her. It's just, we just knew that that was the one for us. We just really felt in our hearts that we were supposed to pursue her. And we, starting from the beginning, we didn't have confidence that at the end she would be the child that we adopted, just because things don't always work out when you're adopting the way that you had hoped and planned from the beginning. But we knew from seeing her picture and learning more about her that she was the catalyst to get us going and moving in that direction.
Well, we have 2 of them in the audience today, but how did you tell your children that they would be having a new sibling?
We just told them at dinner time. We just had explained to them, and part of, especially our older ones, they remembered when we did foster care. So we kind of just talked about that. They knew that there are kids that don't have mommies and daddies, and we just said we are going to start adopting. They knew what adopting was, and and we told her about this little girl, and that we told them about her special needs and where she was. We took out a map and showed them where her country was and just kind of explained the whole process to them. They were so excited.
What awareness do you hope to raise about adoption?
We really want other families to know that it's possible for you. Like, it's possible for most families to pursue an international adoption. I think one of the biggest obstacles for people is the financial piece of it. It costs, like, our adoption is going to cost an estimate of about $25,000. And I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband's an addiction counselor. We don't make a ton of money, but we've just worked really hard doing various garage sales, selling things around our house. I sold at the farmer's market this summer. We've done a lot of fundraising, and it's just been amazing how blessed we have been and how things have just come together, and it's possible for most families to pursue this.
Well, I can just imagine all the emotions and how you must be feeling, but tell me, how do you feel knowing that within a short time you will be a mom again?
We are so excited. I am but just like adding any other child, whether it's biologically or through adoption, we're excited, we're nervous, we don't know what's really going to happen. We know there's going to be an adjustment period. It could be a little rough for a few weeks. You know, so we're prepared for all of that, but we are absolutely excited.
Well, I wish you all the best luck and all the joy as you welcome your new daughter.
Thank
you for sharing your story and being on the show today.
Thank you very much.